Big performance from Sinnerson. Congratulations on the milestone victory. As we have horses coming out for race 10, Belmont at the Big A. We're on the turf. We'll meet the field, beginning with the number 1, Dylan's Ruby, making the first start of his 5-year-old season.
Third last out at Delaware in a race that was pretty tough on paper, but we'll have to deal with the layoff.
5-1 on him right now. There is the 2, the Paddock Pastor, back to turf.
Another one on the comeback, but has a lot to do late here in a race like this.
There's Freaky, last out maiden winner.
A maiden no more, finally broke through. This 4-year-old, don't know what he beat at Gulfstream Park. Seemed like a pretty weak maiden claiming race.
Back to turf for Complex Agenda.
I'm a little bit more partial to running this horse on the dirt, but hopefully we'll hear more from Maggie on this horse.
Tepid 3-1 favorite on Sandborn, who has trouble staying on the racetrack.
Yeah, very spotty race record, but came back in a big fashion to get the maiden breaking victory. If he runs back to that, they're going to have a tough time beating him. First off the claim for Coolapat, now in the Mike Maker barn. Looks like one that maybe needed a little bit of time off, as he was just a bit antsy last time at Gulfstream Park back in December.
There's Mr. Flowers, who returns to the turf for the first time since November.
All dirt races so far in 2026, but the turf form looks like it could hold up here if he can get back to that.
Layoff for American Grant, who went by, and return to turf for Left Him Behind.
Definitely has a bottom in him, as that 1.125 distance last time out really got some fitness. He made a wide run, making up a lot of ground.
Where did you land in here? As we mentioned, just a tepid 3-1 favorite on the board.
I went to the 5 Sandborn. This is a tough race, Acacia, in my opinion, to have a very strong opinion, because Sandborn, although we haven't seen him since last August, that was a very sharp victory for Cherie DeVoe, a trainer that doesn't ship a whole lot of horses up here to Belmont and Belmont at the Big A, but I do think that the fact that this horse runs well fresh is a big asset here.
He's 3-1 right now, co-favorite with the number 3 Freaky, who has actually just tipped over to favoritism. But Maggie Sandborn, as mentioned, he's tough to keep on the racetrack. How is he for his return?
Yeah, he's one that I obviously, not obviously, because he did run in. Acacia, you should answer this question. I didn't cover any of his races when he ran on the Naira circuit, but is a good-looking type, and he does come back here looking fit, looks the part of a favorite. My concern is the intangible. Now, it's very hard to weigh. You know, when a horse wins by 8, is it indicative of their talent, or is it, you know, a condemnation of the field that they face? Because that field behind him was pretty bad. But to win on the turf by 8, you're doing something right. I like him, but I don't really want to take 5-2 on him, because I just felt like this was such an evenly matched group. I had intrigue on paper in number 1, Dylan's Ruby. Last time he was kind of tracking the pace inside, and then the 2 that finished in front of him kind of got the jump, and he just kind of ran on somewhat evenly through the stretch there. But really, his 2 turf races are good. Now, his best effort did come on a yielding turf course, and it does feel like there's maybe a little bit of juice in the ground here. Not much, though. However, I just don't like the layoff. I really feel like this guy at least looks as though he needs a start coming in off the bench. Moving on to number 6, Coolapat, whom I'll land on here. He'll make his first start as a 4-year-old here from Mike Maker off the claim. Does look fit, loved his energy levels, you know, obviously had some trouble in his last start. And I just think he's one that makes a good impression, that at least you kind of know that he's kept some decent company throughout his career. Acacia?
Maggie, thank you. Coolapat with a little bit of time away. Now in the barn of Mike Maker, and I know you saw him last time.
Yeah, he was very hot and bothered in that last race at Gulfstream in December, and I was very hesitant watching him on the track, but it's great to see he hasn't turned a hair at all, so obviously something was not right with him. That prompted a little bit of a layoff. It's tough to close ground on 59 feet rail setting that he did last time.
Given some time, Maggie, Coolapat, any follow-up comments on that?
Yeah, because when I've seen him sometimes in the past, he is a bit nervous. So, that's interesting you say that. Last time I saw him, he was very relaxed, much like he is today. So we'll see. I don't know if it really has any bearing on how he performs, though.
He is currently 3-1, Kulipat 5-2 on Sandborn. And yeah, I did his races back in 2024, and he was just very physically mature back then, carried a lot of conditioning. So off of a layoff and a blowout maiden score, we'll see if he can find the winner's circle again. They're in for race 10. Chris Griffin has the call.
They're off. Good beginning for Complex Agenda. Shoots right to the front, and Ricardo Santana Jr. and Complex Agenda, they're up top. They're up by a length. Mr. Flowers is a close-up second now, and these two stretch out the margin. Back in third at the rail, that's Freaky and Jose Lescano. Sandborn's in the fourth position. Tight hold Dylan's Ruby is back there in fifth. They're followed to the outside American Grant, then Kulipat, the two at the back, left and behind. And the Paddock Pasteur, well-strung outfield here as they chase Complex Agenda. 23.79 for the opening quarter mile. Mr. Flowers is a clear second. Freaky still in third. Sandborn starts to make up some ground, is to the outside here in fourth. Dylan's Ruby still in fifth, and American Grant is now sixth. Kulipat is there in seventh, and in eighth. That's left and behind. The Paddock Pasteur starts to make up ground from the back end of the field. The leader continues to be Complex Agenda. Complex Agenda is up by a length. Mr. Flowers still in second, Freaky in third. Sandborn holds that fourth spot. American Grant is on the move. The Paddock Pasteur is wide. Wanted to move in closer. Dylan's Ruby in traffic. They are getting stacked up here as they go into the turn. And the reason went 49.40 for a half-mile time. Complex Agenda caught the breather. Sandborn now emerges, and here comes Sandborn, too wide after this leader who's only a nose in front. American Grant, the Paddock Pasteur, starts to rally on. Down to the inside is Freaky. The four of them reach the top of the lane, and the leader still Complex Agenda. Sandborn to the outside with every shot to run that leader down. The Paddock Pasteur from way out of it is trying to run him down too, and Freaky. Complex Agenda is still there. Complex Agenda with a neck advantage. Sandborn just not pushing by yet. One more time for Sandborn to the outside of a very game Complex Agenda. These two down the line together. Sandborn and a photo with Complex Agenda to the inside. It's a head bob back and forth. Then give another photo of the Paddock Pasteur and Freaky.
Photo finish between pace setter, the number 4 Complex Agenda, and the 5 Sandborn. I think the number 5 Sandborn just got the bob, Samantha, and if so, what a dirty beat for Complex Agenda, who did all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, that was a great performance there, and well, that was very close. I don't know how much of it was the 5 going by, but the 4 maybe just a little bit gassed there. What a huge effort on the front end. Smart ride by Ricardo Santana, but Sandborn just too tough.
Very smart ride by Ricardo, trying to take them gate to wire, much like he did in the elusive quality earlier. Complex Agenda did all the work there. Just in the final stages, Sandborn with that extra little bob, and it has been posted 5-4-2-3. A tough beat for Complex Agenda, who did everything but win in this spot, and at 11-1 as well. But Sandborn, off of the layoff, finds his way back into the winner's circle.